Your daughter doesn't want to be followed by? Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with the host and other viewers in real time, and remember to create a safe, fueling experiment by following our community guidelines or our community double standards, as I like to call them. Welcome to the Atheist Underground. We're notifying viewers that you're live. The Mad Hatter, he's #1 today. What's up, dude? You're never #1. Oh, it's a very special Sunday on the Atheist Underground. No, you're not seeing double, my friend. You are actually at a dual live event. I have with me in studio, that's right, El Guapo himself, the sin-free atheist. Question everything. He's our guy. He's the Mexican atheist with the most, man. The man Adam says relate to his own funeral, but you're on time to the Atheist Underground. A very special dual live event. We got sin-free atheist, our guy, in the studio with us. Va a haber un show, un programa bilingüe hoy. Si tienes preguntas en español, nos los puedes echar. Bueno, dejo a él que te conteste. Este vato que habla más español que yo, pero aquí estamos para ustedes hoy. We are here for you guys. Whatever you got, whatever you want to talk about, please bring it. We are also on YouTube, and that's my YouTube camera. That's my TikTok camera. Who the fuck's gonna come on board this morning? Cernova 209. Thanks for being here, my friend. Yeah, man, we went out for a little bit of breakfast already, so we don't have this Atheist Brunch. Like I call, but I don't have any food on because we already went out. We went out for for a coffee and a little breakfast this morning at a local cafe, and our guy gladly responded to my invite to go on my live, and so here he is. It's really crazy to see people in real life, right? You guys used to doing that here in the internet age, and you make friends with people you never met before, right? And it's very surreal, in fact, then all of a sudden to meet them in real life. You know what I mean? So it's a different world, and here we are together on a Sunday, like we do every Sunday at 10:30 in the Central Time, 11:30 on the East Coast. We go live with the Atheist Underground, and very happy to have with us today sin-free atheist. What do you like to be called? Do you not want people to know your name?
Gustavo is okay.
Gustavo, es Gustavo. Soy Roberto y él Gustavo. How do you translate Gustavo?
Gustavo is a Germanic name. It means Gustav.
Gustav. We don't really have an English equivalent. We know Gustavo. It's not that uncommon. We know what that means, but Gustav, the closest translation we have, name somebody kind of a Slavic name. My shirt says. Somebody asked what the shirt says. Here, I'll flip it. There we go. Now we're backwards, so I can see atheism. I made this shirt up. If you haven't seen the shirt, you can buy it. Yeah, Gus, but Gus is like Augustus, or it's not Gustav, right? It's a little bit different. Germany says hallo und servus. Hallo, mein Freund. Heather Mack, what's up, Heather Mack? You still home for Thanksgiving? Sneaking away on a Sunday while the folks are at church so that you can hang out. God loves you anyway. Broken in progress. God loves you anyway. It's never too late. Is that a response to something? Did somebody say something already? We got a preacher on the train. There's no preaching on the train, my friend. You get kicked off if you preach on the train.
Sounds another person.
From the German, it means good staff.
Yeah.
Is that a joke?
No, that's what the name means.
Gustavo means good staff?
Yeah, as a weapon. It's a warrior's name.
Really?
Yeah.
Gustavo means apparently good staff. Sounds like a sex joke to me, right? But I did make this shirt. You haven't seen the shirt? Where you been? I made the shirt, made it up myself. It's a play on the old church sign, CH blank blank CH. Have you ever seen that on the church signs? And then they'll be like, "What's missing?" You are. Yeah, see, you are missing from church. And I just happened to realize when I was looking at the word atheism that he happens to be in English the 4 middle letters of atheism. So what's missing from atheism? He is. What's missing from church? You are. It was just my play on that. But you can get these at if you look at my bio, there's a shop, cafepress.com, Atheist Underground Gear, and you can get this shirt. What you been up to today? Well, nothing, man. Just getting ready for this. So we made a plan to meet each other because we don't actually live that far from each other in real life. And it's a holiday weekend, and our guy was visiting upstate, somebody he knows, and So he came by and we went out for breakfast and say hi. So now he's here. There he is. I'll try to stay out of the way and I switch the camera around. So I have to get you the Go Blue. Michigan beat Ohio State. Go Blue. I got 1,000 blue hearts because Michigan beat Ohio State. And let me tell you what, I got no love lost for Ohio State. Ohio State can go fuck itself. Along with a lot of those other universities that seem to make their money off of football and letting college age kids smash their fucking brains against each other, and the Ohio State, well, nothing's really more obnoxious than Ohio State University. So I don't really care that Michigan kicked the shit out of Ohio State because, college football, I'm from Connecticut. We're about basketball. College football, abuse of youth, taking advantage of people who should be getting paid to bring money into universities that should be teaching everybody how to learn something and how to, provide for the betterment of humankind through education, not fucking beating each other's heads together on the fucking football field to make money for the university. But that's just me. Y'all enjoy your college football all you fucking want, man. You into college football, Gustavo?
No, I'm not.
No. You into American football at all?
No, that's not football.
That's not football, right?
Yes,
What's a better name for American football? What would be a better name? Gridiron ball? What?
It will be bastardized rugby.
Bastardized rugby? This guy, man. No respect. We love American football. It's just improperly named, right? Football, as we know, is, of course, soccer on the world stage.
That's wrong.
Georgia and Notre Dame are more frustrating than what? College football. Millionaires yelling at indentured servants. Yeah, I love it. I'm from Buffalo. Our sport is losing. Come on. Buffalo, not in first place anymore, aren't they? The Patriots, my friend, the Patriots. Figuring it out finally in the post-Tom Brady era. In the Bills. Not a bad team, but, in the end, they're not going to go anywhere again. Currently hiding from Zoom church. Blakey Liaison. I love that. Hiding from Zoom church, man. You do any Zooming? Zoom? Have you been on?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Do you have to for meetings or for?
I've done it for reunions with my college buddies.
Okay. College reunion sounds way better on Zoom than fucking church. So there's one for Blake Ellison 9 for you, man, because he's hiding from Zoom church downstairs. Does that mean your people are on Zoom church upstairs? Just saw an article saying Wisconsin is no longer a democracy. What has Wisconsin become? Has anywhere ever been really a democracy here?
It's Rittenhouse state now.
What's that?
It's Kyle Rittenhouse state now.
Kyle Rittenhouse. He's not even from Wisconsin, And my conspiracy theory ex-wife is like, his dad lives in Wisconsin. I'm like, the motherfucker shouldn't have been here, man. There's no reason for him to be here. He came from another state, had somebody drop him off a gun. Right? He dropped me off, Mom. I'm gonna go shoot some black people, man. And then he ends up shooting white people. What a fucking witless fuck this kid is, And I can't really argue with the verdict. It looked like self-defense once he was there. My whole issue is why the fuck was he there? It's I don't know. The whole it's an embarrassment of the legal system, man. Thank you, Dave 4590 for being here. Who had a job in Kenosha? Rittenhouse? No, now he's got a job. Other people who excuse why I was here. Like, if he has been protecting his own work or standing in front of his dad's building or protecting his own property or actually being defended. No, he was stalking the streets looking for fuckers to shoot, man. And then, he actually shot somebody. He's like, I brought a gun to an active riot zone and someone got hurt and fucking fuckwit. What do you believe happens when you die? You want to take that one?
Absolutely nothing.
You rot in the ground.
Yeah. Sisu is to be there. There's nothing wrong with that. You have one life, live it well.
Why do you think that we're different than animals? That's my question to religions. Because we're smarter, because we think deeper. Why do you think we're different? Nobody thinks that every animal goes to heaven, but we're just another animal. Somehow we have a soul and other animals don't. And so we have an afterlife and other animals don't. It's stupidity itself, man. Get over it. Approach someone with a gun, their sympathetic nervous system kicks in inevitably. True. Fave movie? What's your favorite movie, man? Favorite movie ever?
Clockwork Orange. A Clockwork Orange.
A Clockwork Orange. A good pick, a classic pick. Stanley Kubrick, the classic. This guy, you can tell right away, educated man. When you ask somebody their favorite movie, if they say Clockwork Orange, they've been around the block. That's not a bad one to pick. Probably some of my favorite movies are up there. Some of Kubrick's movies are among my favorite movies. Absolutely. AI, which he didn't get to finish, but Spielberg did a beautiful job finishing in the style of Kubrick. Do you agree? You like movies? Yeah, I just AI, really underrated film, and Spielberg deserves so much credit for putting aside his way of doing things and finishing that film in the way that Kubrick would have finished it. It was fucking brilliant. If you haven't seen AI, or if you think that you saw it a long time ago and you thought it was brilliant, give it another watch, man. A great movie. Yeah, John Waters films are great, man. Who doesn't love John Waters films? And Pink Flamingos and right, and Hairspray. I mean, great fucking movies. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm already talking and missing messages. So if you see one up there, don't forget to shout it out if I'm missing. God damn it, get off my screen.
Dogma is a great film.
What's that?
Dogma? I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, Dogma? I didn't like Dogma. I don't love Kevin Smith. Do you think we will find any kind of life on Mars? Yeah, I do. I think we'll find at least evidence of past life, indisputable evidence. I think they're pretty convinced that life began on Mars just like it began on Earth, and then Mars pushed too far away from the sun and lost its window in the magic zone. Greatest movie of all time is Life of Brian. Life of Brian's not even Monty Python's greatest movie, and I love Life of Brian. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's funny as shit. It's not as good as Holy Grail, and I like Meaning of Life better, quite honestly, than Life of Brian. But a good call. I love Life of Brian's a funny movie. Good morning, Terrible Tigga. Define life on Mars. Anything, but organic life. I don't know. Atheist daddies. Yeah, August Goddess. What's up? Atheist.
Or Big Lebowski. That's a good one too.
Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have that other shirt, but yeah, Big Lebowski again. Not even the Coen Brothers' best movie. Great fucking movie. Great cult classic. But flawed. Do you think you will ever change to Christianity? Shut up, cuh. Shut up, because he laughs out loud. He's like, change what? Change to Christianity for what, man? Why would anyone pick that? I can see maybe having some kind of spiritual awakening. I can't rule that out, but it's certainly not going to be the ridiculous, complicated statements of Christian dogma. What an embarrassment Christianity is. We need more of it. Do it in the back. His voice is amazing. We need more of do it in the back. His voice is amazing.
They do it in the back, maybe?
Are you talking about dude in the back? You talking about dude in the back? I'm atheist, but I am compassionate for religious people. I understand the need and comfort to believe heave. To believe heave? Good for you. Well, you're a mellow atheist. I have compassion for everybody. Religious people too. I totally get it. I understand the need as well for people to have that comfort myth. Thanks, Matt Hatter. Yes, you picked that one up. Life on Mars, a David Bowie song. Nice, little Tabby. Your family's at Southern Baptist Church? I'm sorry to hear that, man. The dude does abide. I don't have that t-shirt on today. I had it on the last time. Any true Christian respects atheists. Should be reciprocal. Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, atheists don't get any respect from anybody. But you're right. A true Christian would respect an atheist, and we do. And we've run across some who are very open-minded and get it. It's the ones who treat it like fact, right? Doesn't it make you crazy when people treat their religion as though they knew it were fact? It's a belief. If it works for you as a belief, then just fucking believe it. Quit trying to pretend it's true. What makes you not believe in God? A lack of evidence makes me not believe in God. Why would you just believe something that is a tradition? I've never been that guy who believes something just because everybody else in my family forever has believed it. It's the only reason that anybody believes. Even if you think that you've come to the realization that God is real by something that happened to you personally, some anecdotal evidence of God, you received that concept from your family tradition. You didn't just like appear out of a vacuum and then some shit happened to you and you go, oh, it must be a God out there. No, you're a victim of indoctrination of some sort, unless you were raised on an island by yourself and you actually made up the concept on your own somehow. You're only a Christian or a Muslim or a believer in some kind of God because somebody taught you that. 99% of people are religious because of the tradition that they came from. So yeah, I don't even know where that started, but good for you, Missy. You're an atheist.
I'm responding to her.
What's that?
I was putting a message for her.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead and feel free to interrupt me. You know how I go when this. Thanks for the ice creams, Matt. I love ice cream. Download me into the metaverse. Yes, please. Not a lot of U.S. born Christians suddenly finding Allah. Yeah, it doesn't really work like that. Not nobody. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's every kind of asshole out there, and people who have been hurt by Christianity will seek refuge in other religions and find it. And very often it's Buddhism here in America, because Buddhism is a trendy, new agey kind of we find no fault with you sort of religion. I think it kind of gets glossed over, but I think it's a trendy way for spiritual people who want to be religious to leave Christianity, and some of them do find God elsewhere, but not really very many. Are you scared of death? No, I'm scared of dying. Thanks for the follow, Steph GTS. God damn it, I keep hitting this. I'm trying to get to the new messages. Religion rules by fear. You shall fear me. Ooh, I'm knocking the lights over in the joint here.
Yeah, congratulations to Darth Vader.
What's that?
They're saying that Darth Vader is cool.
It's cool. Yeah. Darth Vader. You can see Darth Vader. I got the ceiling lights on, which I don't usually have on because it glares in the background. But this way you can see the handsome face of El Guapo in the background. If I turn that light off, he's kind of in the dark. So I left that on tonight. So sorry for that weirdness in the screen. Also money. They have more money than any other business except maybe Amazon. Amazon, pretty sure they sell Bibles too. So they've got it all covered, right?
I just bought the Skeptics annotated Bible for my daughter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ooh. Did you read it? You get any feedback on it yet?
No, no feedback yet. I just comment because a lot of people do not respect. My ex-wife is Catholic, and I discussed it with her before giving her that book, because indoctrination is not going to happen in my family.
No,
it does not.
No, he's putting his foot down. Indoctrination not going to happen in his family. It sounds all right. Can you hear him when he talks back there? His English is outstanding. I got to tell you about this guy. His English is outstanding. Got a thick fucking accent, man. Like he just got off the boat. This guy, he's like, we can go talking like this all day if you want, but I can understand him up close. But if he mumbles a little bit, I have to say, repeat yourself, mister. Your accent very, very strong.
Yeah, let me know about those.
What would Darth Vader say about religion? He would say, embrace the dark side, bitches. Embrace.
That's everything on Star Wars is religious. What do you mean? What would he say about religion?
Yeah. He's just it's a very similar situation to what we have here, right? To where people will embrace the dark side, right? Or be Satanists or occultists, all right? Darth Vader takes the religion of the Jedi.
He's Satan.
Right?
He's Satan.
Is he Satan?
Yeah.
You think Darth Vader is basically the Satan? I don't know.
His adversary to...
Isn't the Emperor more like the Satan?
Well, Satan doesn't have to be a main character, because Satan is not really on the Bible. So you can name Satan whoever character you want.
That's true. But yeah, Star Wars always been a good and evil. Simple, there's not really much complicated to the basic Star Wars story. So yeah, Darth Vader, either Satan or Satan's little helper, right? If the Emperor is Satan. But Darth Vader would definitely approve of religion. He would just want you to embrace the dark side, man, where the real power is.
Burroughs is saying something smart about Star Wars. There is evidence for the Force. You can see midichlorians on the microscope. You can see them.
You can see what?
midi-chlorians, the what forms the Force. You can see them on one of the
Mini
movie.
mini-clusions?
Midi-chlorians.
Oh,
It's part of the Force.
Midichlorians.
Midi-chlorians. Google it.
You're not talking mitochondria.
No, chlorians. CHLO.
Middle chlorians?
Yeah, the count. That's how you know how strong your Obi-Wan Kenobi midi-chlorian counts around 13,000. So that's the evidence of the Force.
Midichlorian.
Yeah.
All right, man. This dude's way into Star Wars. I have no idea, but yeah, they've got the whole backstory.
I did. You are the one with the statue.
Man, you're way into. Have you seen the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
You have?
Not the cartoons.
That's what I mean. You haven't watched that? No, I haven't either. No. You know you're really into Star Wars if you.
That's
This guy, Weird Quiet Guy, says introduced into Phantom Menace. Yeah, the first 3 Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3 sucked as bad as any sequels that have ever been made in the history of fucking movies. And only because Star Wars carries such fucking weight that did not get completely critically hammered. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, some of the shittiest fucking movies I've ever seen. Really hard to get through. If you remember details from those movies about the story, then you're a better fan than I am. And I watched them all, and what a fucking embarrassment. I'm so glad he got away from the formula of those 1, 2, and 3, the middle 3 of in the chronological order of them having been made, right? And the last 3, 7, 8, 9, whatever the fuck numbers those ones were, right? Much better. But George Lucas is a terrible writer. What's brunch? We didn't really have brunch today because we went out for breakfast, the 2 of us together. The Mandalorian did such a good job with keeping the original style. I agree, and I keep up with it. I watched the Peripheral movies, right? The Han Solo movie, whatever it was called, and Mandalorian. Really, really good. Really, really good. Serpent Kid, you got a toot. I like you, man. Brunch is an old wooden ship from the Civil War era. What? I don't get it.
You need to go with that.
Shut up, cuz. So what's your favorite thing to do, man? What's your favorite thing to do?
I'm still like to read a lot.
Like to read? Mine is dirty sex. Yeah, Rogue One, pretty good. Yeah, those movies are pretty well made now. George Lucas is just a terrible writer, and you can see he did everything he could to save money on those 3, on 1, 2, and 3. He made them all in with as much CGI as he could, as little fucking location shooting as he could. The dude's a weird, greasy hermit, man, for one thing, and one of the most overrated directors that's ever been. He's never made a better movie than American Graffiti. George Lucas. You ever seen American Graffiti? Yeah. He's never made a better movie than American Graffiti. That was his pinnacle, his peak. I don't care what you say about any Star Wars movie. He just not as great a filmmaker as people make him out to be. I'm obsessed. I'm getting Din Djarin's helmet tattooed for a cover up. Nice. I don't even know who Din Djarin is. Who loves the prequel? You love the prequels too? You're high. Curry 4444. Open your eyes. The argument from complexity, the fine-tuning of the universe. Worst argument ever. I don't know what side of that you're on because you're talking to somebody else. Dale Killian. Too muchado. Qui-Gon used a lady's razor handle to talk to people. I don't know. Yeah, Qui-Gon. Was there ever a worse use of Liam Neeson or Samuel L. Jackson than those fucking prequels? Oh, they're terrible.
Samuel L. Jackson got his purple Lysol.
Why am I a hateful person? Scotty 2.0 Planker says I'm a very hateful person. Is that how much I've been laughing today? Do I seem extra hateful today? Are you gay or straight? I'm fabulously straight, my friend. What about you?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares, right? What's it matter, right? I'm comfortable with my sexuality. The Capital One commercial is a bad use of Samuel L. Jackson.
I like that word commercial.
And I ended up in a motherfucking Star Wars movie.
But
Morning, Nana in Virginia. What's up? Favorite rock song? That's a big fucking. What's your favorite rock song?
it will be progressive rock. It will have to be Tubular Bells, but I don't know if you can call it rock.
Which one?
Tubular Bells, but I don't know if you can call it rock.
Jupiter.
Tubular Bells.
Tubular Bells?
Yeah, but I don't think that you can call that rock. But it was progressive rock.
Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. Is that the name of the group?
Oh, it's Mike Oldfield.
Mike Oldfield?
Yeah, you've seen it in movies.
Ah, okay.
It's I think it's on The Exorcist.
Okay. Yeah, this guy, Mike Oilfield, he says. Salvatore Salerno spells it Oilfield.
Oldfield, not Oilfield. Oldfield.
Oldfield?
Yeah.
He wrote Oilfield. Maybe it's a typo. Hey, Daddy. What's up, atheist in South Dakota, my guy? Oh, Tubular Bells is the Exorcist theme. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not a rock song. I don't know. My favorite rock song, if I had to pick one, boy, London Calling. It doesn't get a lot better than that. By The Clash. If I had to pick one,
do we more rock?
I'd stick with that one. I think there's never been a better rock song made than London Calling. Oakenfold, somebody wrote. No, it's Oldfield. People are arguing over this asshole. Assimilate by Skinny Puppy. Don't know what that is. One Way or Another. That Blondie. That's not a bad choice. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one. You like that one? That song jams. Anything by The Jam is fucking good with me, man.
That Oldfield album only has 2 songs, 45 minutes each.
He only has 2 songs.
Yeah.
And one of them is the Exorcist theme.
No, both of them are on the Exorcist theme. It's Tubular Bells 1, Tubular Bells 2. And the reason why there are 2 songs on the album is because at that time you remember the big old 45 the big old records.
Mm-hmm.
You could only record 45 minutes on one side.
Mm.
Otherwise, the song is truly 1 hour and a half.
Yeah. Crazy Train by Ozzy, someone puts up there as the best rock song. You like that one? Yeah. Our guy wants to know if you like Rush.
Yeah,
in all caps.
Of course.
Asks him.
Of course.
Does he like Rush? He says, of course.
Yeah.
He says, of course. Who doesn't like Rush? Living in the limelight, here's my giant Geddy Lee nose. Living in the limelight, universal dream.
The singer is not the best.
I don't mind his. It's a rock voice. He's got a rock and roll voice.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
The drummer is so.
The drummer's dead. He doesn't do shit.
I know.
Don't quit your day job. Yeah, thanks, man. Yes.
Yeah, no, I won't. I won't. The check that they're supposed to send to the atheists hasn't come to my mailbox yet.
What?
There's some trope, people saying that people are only atheists because we receive money, but I haven't received anything on my mailbox. I don't know if you.
No, money? What kind of money?
I don't know. Some idiotic. It started with Muslims saying that the apostates are only apostates because somebody's paying them to talk about Allah, and now they're seeing some Catholics saying the same.
Yeah, where's our check? Man, people are getting paid to deny God now. Yeah. Where's my fucking check, man? I should be getting paid overtime.
One of those.
Right?
Yeah, you're working overtime.
We should get paid overtime here on Sunday, fucking working for atheism, and I don't get a fucking check. Yeah, it's funny how Muslims can accuse atheists of getting paid to be atheists, but atheists can just as easily accuse Muslims of only being Muslims so they don't get their fucking heads cut off.
Yeah.
I used to be Christian, but not anymore. Good. That's a common theme around these parts. I used to be Christian, but not anymore. Do you like Jim Carrey? He amuses me, Jim Carrey. What a fucking nut. He went off the rails, didn't he?
Yeah, talking about Jim Carrey, I just talked Joy, the non-crazy like a lady, and told her, well, the mag is supposed to be Loki. And she's from Denver, and she was like, no, that has nothing to do with Loki.
He's got a Loki shirt. Stand up a little so he can see yours. I'm not Loki. He's got a badass Loki shirt on today, man. That's very cool.
It's a very cool shirt.
Dude, you sound like the dude off of Devil's Rejects. I don't know what that is. My prayers will be with you and hoping that you find Jesus again. No preaching on the train. My prayers will be with you. DB Constructions. And my prayers will be with you. And hoping that you find Jesus again. You know, if it's in God's plan that we find Jesus again, that we'll find Jesus again. If it's not, then we won't, right? So why would you pray for that? God's either got an inscrutable plan or he doesn't, and he might change it because of your prayers. So yeah, thanks for getting blocked, man. Tuck and roll. He says, I am the devil and I do the devil's work. Who does? Devil's Reject is the best Rob Zombie movie. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Rob Zombie movie. Since you find religion in all cultures, do you believe worshiping God is in our DNA? No. I believe that, first of all, religion is not in all cultures. There is at least one example. I can't remember. I was so mad. Dan Barker mentioned the name of the tribe. There's an indigenous tribe somewhere that never invented a God concept. So that's a fallacy.
I don't know.
I think that it's human nature to wonder about the nature of our existence. And I also think it's human nature to be a follower. So when followers wonder about the nature of our existence, they're likely to adopt the thoughts of somebody who made up a philosophy because they thought about the nature of their existence, right? So that very few people think about the nature of their existence and then make up their own religion, right? Their own God. No. They choose or are indoctrinated into one that's already existed. So, you know, to me, I don't need to argue with anybody about that. It seems obvious to me that, you know, religion is you know, a man-made concept to explain things we don't know about our universe and to explain or to give us ourselves comfort about the things in life that scare us. So, you know, if that was in our DNA, then everybody would have their own religion. But you know, we don't. It's in our DNA to be followers. It's in our DNA to be cautious. It's in our DNA to have the fight or flight instinct. And most people being followers will choose flight or choose following the philosophy of another instead of boldly choosing their own or looking for their own, going out and making up their own mythology, their own God to go with it. So no, I don't think I don't think it's in our DNA. I think, you know, to wonder about the nature of our existence is in our DNA. I only need two gods, Neil Peart and Joe Pesci.
All hail Joe Pesci.
All hail Joe Pesci.
And rest in peace, Neil Peart. My favorite job was Neil Peart, and now he's fucking dead. So all you got is Joe Pesci left, my friend.
Watching people on here say they will heal the sick makes me sick. Do people on here? Are there people here saying they'll heal the sick? That's user net. Where'd you go? User net 3G Katie. Is somebody on here?
He's talking about TikTok.
Huh?
He's talking about TikTok.
Oh, on TikTok in general.
Yeah.
Oh, are there people trying to faith heal on TikTok?
They will always do that. That makes money.
I've never seen that. Are there?
It's the best money maker. Of course they're gonna do it. I haven't seen it neither.
On TikTok?
I haven't seen it in TikTok, but that's a true way to make money. So yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody will do it.
So it's a cynical effort, you think, on your part. You people will get on TikTok and make a Christian channel and perhaps do faith healing as a way to make money and get viewers. I don't think that's far off. I think that's probably the case. I think there's a lot of people, especially with these Christian creators, if you look at them, that they don't give a fuck about anything except they know that if they do this, then a certain amount of people will sign up because it's a Christian channel.
You're saying that she has seen it.
I've seen lives where they faith heal here on TikTok. Wow. I wonder if that works for people. People at home going, I turned on TikTok today and now I can see and I was blind, man. What the fuck? Was somebody really buying that? I mean, that's fucking desperate, man. What the fuck? It's just Benny Hinn hitting his phone.
I don't ask much for God. Just if somebody cuts an arm, gets a hand off, just grow it back. That's enough evidence for me.
Yeah. My mom is a Christian Karen and thinks God saved me or healed me. medical science did. Yeah. You know what? What do you think about that? I mean, you know, everything we have past age 50 basically is down to technology and science. You know, nature wants you dead by 50. It wants 5 of your 7 kids dead before they turn 5 years old. Everything else that we have is down to medicine and technology. And if you don't think that's true, then ask yourself why 100 years ago a guy with who needed a quadruple bypass would have died, but now he doesn't have to die. He gets pig's valves and he lives for another 40 fucking years. You think that's God liking us? God likes us more today than he did 100 years ago, which is nothing in God's time, right? That's like yesterday or this morning or 2 hours ago. So why does God love us so much more today that he saves people that he didn't give a shit about, you know, even 20 years ago in some certain instances as medical science improves? Honestly, it's an intellectual embarrassment. I have no idea how people fucking get along with it. Natty Nat, how you doing, baby? All our love to Natty Nat, who explains that nature has wanted her dead her whole life, and that, you know, this is what happens, and everything we have beyond that is due to human ingenuity, to human advancement, to medical discovery, to science. You hate all organized religion? Yeah, who doesn't, man? Exactly. When faith healer regenerates an amputees lost limb, I'll listen. Yeah, that's where we need to go with that, right? When we can see someone grow a new arm in front of them, or a vet grow new legs after he's had them both blown off in one of America's unholy wars over oil, you know, then maybe we'll start believing in miracles. You know, the rest bullshit. An atheist hobbit having second breakfast. Who's the atheist hobbit, man?
Well, he said that it's atheist second breakfast, and that is, I'm pretty sure it's a reference to the Hobbit.
Oh yeah, because say a second breakfast. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think it's 3 breakfasts actually, but they mentioned second breakfast in the movie.
I think so. Yeah, because Sam Gamgee is he's a fat little hobbit. He likes to eat. Who is the co-conductor? This is Sin Free Atheist. Nat, he's one of our atheist creators on TikTok. Follow at Sin Free Atheist if you haven't already. He's joining me from down the road. He was around visiting on this holiday weekend and reached out, and we're actually like together IRL, my friend. That stands for in real life. It's crazy, but it's true. So yeah, if you don't know our guy, he's a great example of a Latino atheist. Now we could talk about that in a minute, but you know, again, one of those communities that people understand instinctively as being completely steeped in religion, and not without reason, but to pretend there aren't Latino atheists is wrong. And I know a ton of them. And Latin America, Mexico especially, is a fucking giant country. You know, I don't know if you people know this. Mexico City, biggest city on the fucking planet now. And if Mexico would probably be the biggest country on the planet if we hadn't have stolen half of their land.
I think Russia is bigger.
Yeah, maybe. No, I mean with people though. I mean, if we had, like, include the population of Texas and California and Arizona and Mexico,
Nevada,
right, and all of those, you know, Colorado, everywhere that used to be Mexico. If all of those people could be counted as Mexicans still and living their lives as Mexicans do with maybe 10 kids, you know, maybe Mexico would be the biggest country in the world. I doubt it. China's still got like 1 billion people or more, but you know what I'm saying? People don't really get that. You come from America, you think this is the center of the fucking world, and people forget Mexico, very, 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 very big, diverse country, and a lot of atheists, and a lot of them are in the closet, right? Because they don't want to get tienen miedo de la abuelita, y they don't want to come out as atheists at home. But we have a beautiful, perfectly good, handsome, intelligent example of a Latino atheist with us today on the channel. So that's who's here. He's Gus. He's Gustavo. 3 things you never talk about is religion, money, and politics. You guys should know this. Yeah, well, we're not at dinner with our family, so this is an atheist TikTok. So, you know, we talk about
Thanksgiving is over.
Whatever the fuck we want. Thanksgiving is over. You're right. And happy Thanksgiving. How was everybody's turkey day? Did you have a good one? And hi, Ree. I did see you. Ree, woo. What's up, baby? How you doing? Somebody asked before, most Buddhists do not believe in God. True, and that is true. Buddhism, technically an atheistic religion. You're just looking for spiritual enlightenment. You're looking for the highest form of yourself. So yeah, technically, that is true. Buddhism, an atheistic faith. And now back to God. Turkey Day was Ayir. What? ALR? Hanged out? You hanged out with your friends? My stepdad started in with "Let's Go Brandon" bullshit on Thanksgiving. Can you talk about "Let's Go Brandon" for a minute, man? I got something for you. Fuck Brandon. Okay, what's with the Vader statue behind Sin for Atheists? That's actually always here. Ree, that's always here, and it's in the dark usually because I don't have that overhead light on. He's offering you a pipe full of marijuana. You can see in his hand, right there.
What's it going to rattle you?
Is a little Meerschaum pipe. It's a horse. It's very small. It was meant for tobacco, but tobacco poison, marijuana life.
It's a cool pipe, by the way.
It is. You look at it?
Yeah,
It's nice.
looked at it before.
Yeah. My dad has a real nice Meerschaum collection. You guys know what Meerschaum is? That's one of those things that's going by the boards. It's a German word that means sea foam. Basically, it's Meerschaum. And it's spelled Meerschaum, and we just say Meerschaum, right? My dad always pronounced it Meerschaum in English, but it's Meerschaum. It kind of means sea foam or sea sponginess, right? And it's actually I want to say it's like a clay. It's like a mined mineral material that's the most perfect smoking material in the world, and it's only found, I want to say, in that Turkey, in that area. But that's the inside of a calabash pipe was made out of, right? Sherlock Holmes had that pipe made out of a gourd calabash, right? And the inside, the white part that you could see over the tip of the gourd is Meerschaum. Something that people are, as pipe smoking goes away, and maybe cigarettes will go away too somehow. But yeah, Meerschaum, people. Yeah, if you're in Denmark, you know what that is, I'm sure. But that's some of those things you don't see very often. Yes, Eddie V528 Latino. What's wrong with that? Why Latino with 3 question marks? Eddie, what's that? Is that a question?
They see me as white.
They see you as white?
I think that's the reason why they done my.
You don't think he's Latino because he's white looking? Well, what can I tell you, man? He's a white bread Mexican. We actually talked about that a little, and how Mexico is a very class structured society, and our friend Gustavo is lucky enough to fall into that more European looking category of Mexican. He's got white skin, he's got European features, he doesn't have a lot of indigenous blood in him, not much mestizo, as people know, but it's a real issue in Mexico. He's privileged partly because of the way he looks, and not like we aren't in America either, but in Mexico it's even worse. Like, you can't turn on the TV and see indigenous people represented. If you look on TV and everybody on those shows is a European looking, half blonde, light colored eyes, whiter skin, tall, skinny, more like Hollywood's throwing out the best looking people they can. In Mexico, the TV it revolves around European looking people. And it's a real issue that indigenous people don't feel represented by media in Mexico, and righteously so. Am I right about that?
Yeah, if I might add, it's very weird because we are educated as mestizo, which is half Indian, half native Mexican, you want to say better, and half European. But we use Indio as a derogatory term, as an insult. We denied we celebrate the European part while celebrating the food and the culture that we have from all of the diversity of cultures in Mexico. So it is a weird dichotomy. The secretism in Mexican Catholicism is incredible. You have as different Catholic Catholic in Mexico as you find different communities, because they took their own gods and then melted them with the Catholic Church. It is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I went a little bit too long.
No, that's all right, man. That's what we're here for. Where are most films made in Mexico, Chris Burros?
Mexico City.
In Mexico City.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
That's the big studios. They are film on location on different places, but the Churubusco Azteca studios are still the most important.
Mm-hmm. A lot of great films coming out of Mexico. Yeah, I lost Iñárritu. You like the films of Iñárritu?
Yeah, he is from Basque ancestry.
Yeah, that explains the bizarre last name.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it is.
But he makes movies in Mexico.
My last name is probably Basque too.
Really?
Yeah.
My ex-wife's last name is Basque. Is Gondra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very rare in America. Yeah. Basque. The Basque people of Spain. Hot-headed separatists of Spain.
They are one of those languages that are unique to that. They don't have a root on other languages.
Right. Very unique in the world. Not related to the other Spanish regional languages.
They're if they want to know, border within France.
But they're on the border of France, right? I was asking if you're a Latino because you spoke Spanish. No, Eddie, no. I'm as white as it gets. They don't make them más güero, más gabacho que yo. Pero hablo español porque sí. No, que tengo como 30 años trabajando con puro mexicano y pues yo me enseñé el idioma así trabajando con mexicano. Él es mexicano. Él se considera mexicano, aunque es muy güero también, de su piel y su lujo, pero pues, nació en México a sus padres mexicanos, entonces...
Abuelos y bisabuelos.
Sus abuelos y sus bisabuelos. Entonces, soy latino honorario yo.
Tell him that you thank Jesus more than Jesus this Thanksgiving.
The Basque Whalers. I don't know what that is.
Some of the whalers were from the Basque.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but yeah, I was aware of that.
They laugh at my last name in Mexico because of the spelling. Are you not Mexican at all? This is Burros. His name is Chris.
Yeah.
Did you just say Burros? Burros?
But that's probably Italian for mantequilla, for butter, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Or yeah, bur or French is
burro is butter in Italian. So
what's funnier, burros? Are you Chris Donkeys or Chris Butters? What do you think of Israel? Israel can eat a plate of shit, as far as I'm concerned. What do you think of Israel? What do you think of Israel?
Israel is a colonized country. It's weird that we are using. If they weren't occupying the gas strip, I would have a much higher opinion of
greedy fuckers, man. Greedy fuckers.
If they treat them as they were, they're pretty close to treating them as they were treated on World War II.
Right.
So, and that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. They should know, of all people, they should know what it's like to be on that side of the stick. And here they are treating Palestinians that way. Yeah, we're no Zionists here. We're no Zionists. I got no love for Judaism any more than any other religion, and especially the politics of Zionism. It's filthy. It's disgusting. It's westernized. They've put the Palestinians out. It wasn't bad enough that they just ripped their land out from under them, but Israeli settlers have to keep pushing into territory that was supposedly reserved for Palestinians. And so it's just fucking greed, capitalism, politics. Israel should fucking, they should fucking shut the fuck up and carve out a piece of land for Palestine and let them the fuck be.
My basic good opinion of Judaism is that they are not proselytizers.
Who?
the Jews, they do not proselytize.
The-
To join, you have to ask them.
You have to ask and you have to beg and you have to jump through hoops. It's an
Yeah.
exclusionary religion, which
And
is
they
like
will deny you 3 times
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
before
yeah,
you
yeah.
join one.
3 times. Imagine another magical number 3, right? You have to ask a fucking rabbi 3 times after you've done all the studying and accepted the bullshit. You got to ask. It's like, Judaism, not missionary style, right? They're exclusionary. They don't want people to join. You have to be born into it. And it gives them an attitude that I think doesn't help their situation historically. I don't think it's no better. To me, it's no better than the rank colonization / missionary style work that the other religions do that do want to gain members, right? The exclusionary, protectionist attitude of Judaism, just as shitty and harmful. Needs to go away. Palestinians have refused every deal for 80 years. Yeah, why they don't? Why would they? And I'm not saying that Palestine is perfect. They haven't helped their cause any by acting like assholes. But why would they? Why would they accept a deal? It was their fucking land. Why would they accept any deal from anybody? They're like, okay, well, let's work on it. No, let's not work on it. Let's go find someplace else for them. The people who come at me with the fucking that Palestine's rejected every. Why should they? Why should they take any fucking deal? What do you think about Morocco?
I said what the specific question about Morocco. Morocco is a country from North Africa. I know where it is, and I know they're mostly Muslim. But what is the question?
What do we think about it? I don't know. Morocco sounds like a cool place to visit, man.
Yeah.
One of the more West-friendly Muslim nations. Everybody I've ever met from Morocco has been cool as fucking hell. It seems romantic. Casablanca.
For being Mexican, I have a little brain fart. Lebanon is a very friendly country to Mexico.
Yeah, Lebanon fairly West friendly too. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
And there a lot of the Middle Eastern in Mexico are from Lebanese descent, both Christian and Muslim, because they have a big Christian community there too.
Yeah. Mountain Laurel says she just saw the episode where Charlotte wants to become Jewish on Sex and the City. She had to beg. Yeah, and there's one on Orange is the New Black, right? Where one of the inmates wanted to convert to Judaism, and they showed
that part is true.
The whole process where you had to beg, please, and then you'll never be considered a real Jew by the ones who were born into it, right? You'll still have to face that prejudice from most people. Not everybody. Some people will accept you and believe that you truly in your heart have accepted Judaism, but
Media is actually saying on the comments that Morocco is becoming more and more atheist.
Of course it is. And somebody asked earlier, and I didn't mean to gloss over, and I'm sorry I'm missing questions here, but stick them in the question box at the bottom if you want them to stay. But somebody asked if I thought that Asia and the Middle East and some other part of the world will suddenly become atheist. I don't know what gave anybody that impression that we think that, but I think that they will become atheist. And I think that your assertion that Asia is going to be tough along with the Middle East is wrong. We already China and Japan and South Korea among the most atheistic countries now. So Asia, if you discount India and Russia and places like the stands, already halfway to being atheist. So I think it's just a curve, and the West is on the down slope of that curve where religion is dying faster than in the East and in the Middle East. But sooner or later, there's no doubt that it'll go away everywhere. Are we going to live to see it? I doubt it. As somebody Eddie V 528 just asked, do I think that religion will go away? I think it will go away as a mainstream pursuit. I think it'll always exist as a fringe comfort myth tool for the people who need it. There'll always be somebody who's weak-minded enough to need the comfort myths. Yeah, I just think they'll look more like outlier cults in the future. They'll look like, oh, isn't that special person there still believes in the old myths, and I think that that's the way it'll go, and religion will eventually end up being one of those things that needs to be a protected class because they're so ostracized by people thinking, wow, this is really anachronistic and silly. And the ones who really want to have the freedom to still practice it will need the kind of protection that other social justice warriors are looking for now in the face of oppression at the hands of religion. So I think those tables will turn. I don't think the Middle East will ever become atheist. They love religion. It's just about education, and sooner or later, everyone will get there. It might take centuries. It might take more, but yeah, I think even the Middle East, sooner or later, will become atheistic. And I think that you see that now when you look at articles like I shared the other week, where some places like Saudi Arabia and Yemen are becoming more atheistic. It's just hard to get a real poll out, because if you go around door to door asking people in Saudi Arabia if they believe, they're going to fucking say yes, because they don't know where you're from. They don't know if you're the government trying to scam on them. So people are scared to actually answer those questions. Truthfully. So we already know that those countries are becoming more atheistic. It's just harder to quantify that.
There's a question by Chi Vibes, Chi Moves, talking about what about Ghana? And Ghana is one of those countries in which being gay, being part of the LGBTQ community is a crime. So my opinion is very, very low on those places.
Fuck Ghana.
There are 13 countries in the world in which being gay is a capital punishment, and all of those sadly are Muslim. So yeah, I have a lower opinion of Islam than I have of Christianity. There is not, and nobody is going to shame me on that until they stop doing that kind of hateful crimes.
You heard it here first. Islam worse than Christianity, only by a little bit, mostly because of fundamentalism, right? I think they've given birth to an uglier form of fundamentalism, which really includes homophobia. Right through it. It's rife with homophobia. It's rampant with misogynism and patriarchy, and the religious right in America leans a little bit more that way. But I think that's probably accurate. I think Islam, in my book, Islam sucks just a little bit more than Christianity.
They are more liberal here because they are forced to, or they're Catholic but the fundamentalism and the rejection of their sons and their daughters for being LGBTQ is more adamant. People are being killed more often. Apostates are being killed more often for being previously Muslim than for being previously Christian.
This idiot Mentensa already says, and I say that with all love, that he has no purpose without religion. I think I saw you say that. I'm really sad for you. I'm sorry. Sorry for that. He goes, "What's misogynistic in Islam?"
Purity culture out to the extreme. If the hijab makes sense when it is 40 Celsius outside, 120 Fahrenheit, and it's dry as hell, it makes sense. I will wear a hijab on those conditions.
A white one though.
No, I wear a cowboy hat, and I wear bandanas, and I wear long sleeve.
But would it be all black?
The dark color works for when it's very hot, because you have an undergarment that holds the sweat, and the color black help you. I've been on those conditions. It works. We can Google that after the live.
Tú eres muy mexicano.
Oh, I am very Mexican. I'm a Mexican redneck.
Yeah, this guy says, I literally am reading the Quran now, and I just read the verse in the Quran that says that God made men superior to women. Oh, yeah. It's right there in the Quran. God made men superior to women, and it's based on strength and whatever else that they're talking about. But the fact that anybody could ask what is misogynistic in Islam with a straight fucking face is fucking ridiculous. And they're all like, it is, I think people will agree that like the Quran actually represented a somewhat better treatment of women. I think that's valid. You know what I mean? Compared to what else was going on in the day. That's meaningless on a modern scale. It full on says that men are superior to women. It breaks down the worth of women as far as how you should divide up your property and give that it's not half and half. If you think that's true, you haven't read. I just got done reading this whole chapter about how you should fucking split up. And if you have daughters, there's a whole bit about how women are worth a little bit less than men. It's it's not funny. That's a lie. It doesn't say that really. I literally just fucking read it. Are you Dutch like I? Are you Dutch like I me? Stephen HL32 says, "Are you Dutch like I me?" You talking to me? I'm actually am. I have a lot of Dutch blood. I'm basically a quarter or an eighth Dutch. So thanks for asking. I'm not sure what that had to do with it.
You're American.
Huh?
See it. You're American. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just an American, right? I'm a mutt,
It's like me saying I'm French.
I can fundamentally believe in anything that I cannot reproduce or examine. You mean you cannot fundamentally believe in anything that I cannot reproduce or examine? Otherwise, it's fiction. Yeah, you're right. Wooden shoes. I got the milk lost way home. I don't know what that means. The Dutch are tall. That's part of me that's not Dutch. I got to believe that I got the Hobbit from Middle England.
Tell it to your building.
Yeah. You're right, though. Dutch people are very tall. They're very tall. It's crazy how tall they are. It's noticeable how tall they are. Yeah, no, I got my height from my mom's side of the family, and my mom is 5'2", 5'3" or something. But her dad was only about that tall too. Little Hobbit people from the middle of England. Our Dutch blood makes you and me so smart. Yes, I have to agree with that. You know when you ditch the mistake and go get the milk? I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. We don't have as a good your devil. I don't get it. We don't have as a good your devil. I don't know what that means, mate. Scrolling back through the comments here. I know I missed a lot of them, so sorry for that, you guys. But we're having fun here today. We're with Sin-Free Atheist. Someone asked, I'm sorry, he is on TikTok. That is a comment I missed.
I'm about to get 666.
At Sin-Free Atheist. He's about to hit 666 followers. Who's going to be number 666? Come on now, follow at Sin-Free Atheist. Maybe you. God has a plan and purpose for you, says Dan Howells 1012. Good story, dude. No preaching on the train. Why would anybody pray for anybody if God had a plan and a purpose? We can't believe what you believe? Sure you can. I'm a Dutch floral designer. Very, very Dutch. Nice, my friend. Nice. Yeah, we have, we're in landscape, so I deal with the Dutch bulb company that's down the road all the time. And there's a dude who works in there. He's 6'11". That's not an exaggeration. The dude is 6'11". He has to like duck out from under his door, and he comes out. And he's like, Jacob, what's up? What's up, man? Huge fucking people. Hello, Godless Kansan. What's up? Bye, Dan Howells.
We talk about poverty and religion.
Do you think the certain clothing Muslim women should wear, what Muslim women wear, should be banned in the USA? I don't know. That's a tough one. I have opinions on that, but it's hard. I sympathize with France because they're in such a more vulnerable position to terrorism from Muslim extremists that they have decided that wearing the full niqab and the full face mask is justifiably what do I want to say? They're justified in banning it because it's a public safety measure. Now in America, you want to say that people have the religious right to do anything they want, and in America we don't have the same problem with weekly bombings of subways and murders of cartoonists that they do in Paris. So it's easier for us to stand behind the religious freedom that we allow people to wear whatever the fuck they want. But if it was to the point where people were coming here routinely, disguising themselves as peace-loving women in a full burqa, and underneath all of that, they have bombs, and they start blowing themselves up, and then you can't identify anybody because they don't have a face mask. I would have a hard time arguing against disallowing that in public. So every country has the right to protect its citizenry the way that they see fit. So it's a tough one, don't you think? It's
because you enter the First Amendment, and there is the same thing that protects me as an atheist protects them to do something like that.
right.
At the same time, they say that they do it on free will, but it is restrictive. It's on a society, on a climate like we have here in America. It is restrictive. It is just for purity culture with a different name. But I haven't seen anybody with a full hijab here. I have seen people with a full burqa.
Right.
I seen women with hijabs.
Right.
It's a different story. Some of them don't even cover their face.
Right.
So it's like, then what's next? Taking the hat from the Jews, taking the brace from other people. We cannot. It's going to be harder to legislate in America.
Right. Right.
It will be easily overturned by the First Amendment.
Right. I'm sending a message here quick. I don't know if am I still on? Can you see? Or am I frozen?
No, you are. The screen comes frozen, but I don't know if you can hear you.
No, that's because
They're using their phone. Yeah.
someone's trying to message me, my daughter, and I'm like on my TikTok live here. I can't really answer the phone here, but hopefully she does not have an emergency or something. So sorry if I froze. Did it freeze up? Yeah. So when I go and move that, it freezes my camera for a second. So sorry about that. She'll message me back if it's something really important. I just sneezed and the live froze. No, you did that with your sneeze, man. No, I switched screens to answer a text. So I went away. Yes, it's Sin Free Atheist. You got it. Godless Kansan. He figured it out. Yes. Are there theists that you don't mind, like those that don't force their opinions on? Yeah, I have plenty of friends who are theists. And we just don't talk about it. And most of them are not hardcore. They're not fundamentalists. They're not like doubling down. They're just like most people. They were indoctrinated. They figure it's probably true on some level, and they don't really bother questioning or getting into it like some of us do. That's all. I know it sounds like you get on here and it sounds like I hate everybody who's religious, but that's silly. You couldn't get along that way because most people are religious. Please talk about poverty and religion. Boy, you want to talk about that from the perspective of a Mexican national?
I was discussing that just this morning. There is a lot of the biggest growing denomination of Christianity in Mexico right now is evangelicals. They are, the way I see them, they are predatory. They're looking for uneducated communities. They're looking for people who are poor. They're giving them a message that is less hateful in a way than the Catholic Church. But what they're looking for is to get their money. They are very strict on the tithing that the Catholic Church had to back off because as Mexicans we fought 2 wars against the Catholic Church at least. I would say 3. But I'm a history freak, so I have my strong opinions on that. Religion and poverty are very tied up together. It's also why I'm going to get hate from this. That's why a lot of black people are very much Christian when truly they shouldn't be, because it was used to bring them over here by the slave trade. But there are the people who defend the Christianity the most. It is sad that the black atheist experience that I have on TikTok, I had to forcefully myself look at the other creators that are BIPOC, and then try to find whoever is following them and they're following. so I could get a good mixture of but more BIPOC people on my feed.
Hmm.
It is poverty and religion; they are very close together. But don't. But money and religion control. They use poverty to make more money, but they follow what the rich people want. Um, it's a very deep concept to say it on a even on a live.
Yeah.
It would be better to done on like questions, specific questions.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, though. I mean, the relationship between religion and poverty is undeniable, and that was one of the last things that I ever did with religion was go to a Pentecostal church and realize how the poorest people in that town were being bilked by a preacher who was lying to them, basically to take their money. And again, it's just so the church can make money, and the church preys on the desperate, and the poor are desperate. So it's pretty obvious, and I think the correlation is backed up statistically too. Um, Someone's asking the Mad Hatter's asking, is that where did you get that shirt? Is that from a TikTok creator?
Yeah,
It is.
I put the name. It's I put the name in a moment.
He's gonna put the name up of the creator. You were right though, Matt. He got that from a TikTok creator.
Yeah, it's I think it's from Scandinavia. Let me get there.
Scandinavian guy. Imagine that. Hey from Australia, Sherry Van Damon 3 with a Dutch name, Sherry Van Damon. The church food pantry gets its food from big nonprofits, not parishioners. You have to save us, be president. I wish. I experienced that. Pastor taking money and fooling around with women. Never went back. You just noticed Darth Vader? He's there. He's there for you, man. The Vade. There he is.
The first thing I noticed too.
Norwegian fellow, artist, says Mad Hatter. Is a Norwegian guy?
Yeah.
Kim Holm. Crazy cat lady found it.
Oh yeah, she knows.
I get it. The seating arrangement is like you guys are on the train, or are you social distancing? No, it's just I got a weird little office here, and that's the way that we can both get to be seen in the camera. We're like riding the train, man. Looks like Jocelyn. Oh, there. Did you guys find it? At the Nunga Herholm? The Nunga Herholm.
I got it to Joyce. She knows the username.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the Loki shirt was made by at Denunga Denunge Herholm, like Mr. Holm in German. Denunga Herholm. At Denunga Herholm, if you want that Loki shirt that he's wearing. Mr. Jefferson Chooch? What does that mean? Had a priest in my Catholic school fool around with some teenage girls. Yay! Priests fooling around with teenage girls, right? It's almost like a step up in the world, right? Not diddling prepubescent boys.
My uncle.
It moved on to the slightly less offensive teenage girl statutory rape action. You know, what the fuck? Catholic priest. You look very friendly, but inside, God knows what you have. All right. Kreshny Kistrefi, 1233. No preaching on the train. God don't know shit. You know, somebody finally, I have to, who is it that keeps on bugging me to watch American Gods? Are you on here? Who is that? I started watching American Gods. Have you seen this show?
No.
It's really cool. It's really cool. If you haven't watched American Gods, it's it's Ian McShane plays Odin, and I'm not going to give anything away here, who is trying to orchestrate a war. I've only watched like 4 or 5 episodes. It's really cool, really kind of deep and different. Who's trying to orchestrate a war against the new gods, apparently, of media technology and the world, materialism. I'm not sure. Maybe there's something deeper there. But basically, he's fighting a war against irrelevance, and the old gods have become forgotten because people are obsessed with their phones, right, or their computers, or the internet, or materialism, capitalism, making money, whatever it is. They've forgotten about the old gods, and these old gods include, from what I can tell so far, the Christian God too. So it's not about him fighting a war that I can tell about the old gods versus the new gods in terms of Christianity, Islam, and those would be the new gods, and the old gods are all the pantheistic gods that we've relegated to the dusty shelves of mythology in society. It looks like all those gods ever are lumped together as one, and the idea is that humans are losing all interest in all gods because we're obsessed with life and the world right now. So the show seems so far to be about Odin rallying the other gods who all live somewhere in obscurity because no one is paying attention to them anymore. He goes and he gets them all. He tries to get them all together so that they can fight a war for relevance against the new gods of technology, etc. And it's really neat. But one of the first things that strikes me about the show is that it points out how gods are real as long as somebody believes in that God, and that's all it takes for a God to be real, is someone to believe in them. And he's brought Odin himself has brought up a couple of times how his worst fear in the world is being forgotten, because effectively, gods do exist. They exist in our minds, and they exist as a concept, and they exist as an invention. And if everybody stops believing in God, if everybody in the world stops believing in gods, then those gods cease to exist. And it's a fundamental acknowledgement of what really we all kind of know, is that man made up God. And if we stop thinking about God and talking about him and worshiping, he disappears. Just like the old saw about, a dead person dies twice. They die when they die, and then they die again when the last person mentions their name, right? Well, God will die too when the last person mentions that God's name. And here we have, Odin and other gods from around cultures around the world that he's going around and getting together and talking sense. He's like, look, you've become irrelevant. Help me get us back together and bring relevance back to our existence so that we don't fade from, reality and existence altogether. When people stop worshiping us, we stop existing. So it's really, it brings up the fact to me that religion is man-made, gods are made up, and the only way that they can stay relevant is for people to continue to believe in them. And once all believers go away, then those gods will go away too. And it's reflected in the minds of believers in our societies. We live in a world where people are scared. Christians and evangelicals, especially fundamentalists of all kinds, are scared to have people take away God from the public square. How often do we hear this? It's like, people want to take God out of school. People want to take God out of public life. People want to take God out of the public square. You saying that, you expressing that fear, is a tacit admission that we can control God. If God is all powerful, how can we take him out of the public square? He could be there forever for all of us, whether we want him to or not. But the fear of Christians that we're going to remove God from public life is a threat to that God. That's a tacit acknowledgement that we made God up and we can control him. So they understand that if everybody forgets about God, God effectively ceases to exist. God is not going to come back at the end and pull 7 billion people, or however many people are around when God decides to end the world, and suddenly say, all right, here I am. All you fuckers forgot about me, but now I'm going to punish every last one of you. It's nonsensical. People know that religion will die when belief in God dies, and God himself will die when the belief in that God dies. And to me, this TV show, American Gods, is already in 3 or 4 or 5 episodes brought up these, kind of philosophical ideas and arguments centered around that idea. And it makes some neat points about the value of religion. I have to admit, when you're watching, it's like, you know, what do people care about these days? And it's like we used to give the gods that are dying out, Odin, you know, Chernobog, the old god of death from Czech culture, and there's all kinds of other ones. And the show starts. It seems to start out. I've yet to figure out why what it has to do with America, but somehow the show starts with a different culture coming to America at some point with their god in tow or involved somehow. And I've yet to see how that's all going to come together. But yeah, it's a cool show. It's a cool show. Odin is not dying out. That's the other neat thing. Odin is on the rebound, and this show seems to sense that in society there's a renewed interest in the old gods.
Odin will die.
Odin will die?
Yeah, that's Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into the he's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Odin's not
somewhere.
immortal, right? The gods,
Yeah,
the gods of Norse mythology aren't necessarily immortal.
that's a cool thing about them. In a way, yeah, they're Odin will die.
Yeah, they're more like reflections of humanity, and I always love that about the pantheistic, the polytheistic religions. The Greek,
is also
right? The Greek and Roman pantheon is a similar way. These gods can be destroyed in one way or the other, and their existence is more justifiable.
When they impregnate somebody, at least they go in person.
At least they go in person, right, and do it in person. You know, they don't dispatch the spirit, right? They go down and they're like, I see Io down there. Zeus is like, there's Io. She's fine. She's got a fine booty. I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna have a demigod for a son, and he's gonna do some shit and have some adventures, and there'll be some stories. But to me, this is religion that makes much more sense because it's the pantheon is a reflection of human society and of human foibles. And these people have their jealousies and their battles and their weaknesses and their fears, and they're not necessarily immortal. So we got off subject, but you know, Odin's not necessarily that he won't that he's immortal, you know. But for terms of the show, the idea is that like he doesn't want to disappear because of irrelevance, because nobody believes in him anymore. You know what I mean? So cool show, and thank you. I forget who that was that kept on bugging me to watch American Gods, but I finally got around to it, and I'm glad I did. The old gods are better, right? Honestly, it makes sense, and they're from nature. Yes, the old gods are better, right? Can you make any argument that the new gods are better than the old gods?
Sorry?
Can you make any argument that the new gods are better than the old gods? No.
No.
The old gods are better.
They are all folklore or mythology, and we are just accepting them all as being the same. The folklore mythology, that's it. There's a reason for the method to explain the unexplainable, but we really don't need that. And no, we don't need to believe in science. If somebody says that science is there, no, it doesn't need to believe. No one needs to believe in science. They are not asking. They're not asking to believe in that.
This guy says, "Hey, Keisha Hendricks, what's up, gorgeous Texas girl?" Someone says, "Read Isaiah 10:54." Oh, wait a minute, 10:54. I put 53:10. Hang on, Isaiah.
54:10 here.
53:10. This guy says 10:54.
Okay, 54:10. 54:10.
No, he wants 10:54.
No, he said the other way around.
What?
You go 2 comments down. After hello, he says 54:10.
I don't know. What? I got one that says 10:54. Oh, 54:10. Yeah, which is it, buddy? 54.
You're making us look harder. Come on.
Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, we need to read the chapter before, the chapter after, and read the whole thing. No, bypass. It's going to mean whatever he wants it to mean, anyways.
That God's gonna love us, no matter if the mountains go away. Why are you preaching to us? Why would a bunch of atheists care what the Bible says? I thought maybe there was something interesting here, but I guess he just wants to let us know that God's going to love us no matter what happens to the earth.
The only teaching of Jesus you should be following is love thy neighbor as you love thyself. If you do that, you are not going to hate the LGBTQ community. You're not going to hate BIPOC. You're not going to hate atheists. Just do that one, and you'll have no beef with me.
My only problem with that commandment is there's people who don't love themselves.
That's the problem.
Right.
The biggest problem.
The biggest problem with that, it's nice, Jesus' most important commandment, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. The idea there is that everybody loves themselves, and we know that that's not true. So what if a suicidal maniac loves his neighbors the way he loves himself? Do you have a mass murderer, a murder-suicide on your hands? There's too much assuming going on in Jesus' commandment to love your neighbor the way you love yourself. And does that mean like crazy cat lady says, does that mean you gotta self-love your neighbor? You know what I mean? I love myself, every time I get the itch, I love myself physically. Do I need to do that to my neighbor too? There's a lot of kinds of love, right? Except Bigfoot is your one true savior. Why? What's Bigfoot going to do?
I follow Sasquatch, not Bigfoot.
Yeah, Sasquatch. Or please, yes, Bigfoot, not politically correct. You can make fun of a guy because he's got big feet, man. That's wrong, man. Yeah, Sasquatch. Yeti's just a snowy Sasquatch, right?
Yeah, but it's a different tradition. It's supposed to be on the Himalayas.
As the Himalayas has the Yeti, right? And he's white, right? I don't know why. I don't think that Canadian winters are a lot less rough than Himalayan winters. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you're up in the top of the Himalayas, but Canadian winters aren't anything to sneeze at, my friend. So I don't know why the Yeti couldn't also survive in that environment. Yeah, big thanks, Nana in Virginia. We do know what big feet mean. My own feet, pretty sizable, my friend, for a short guy. Alaskan winters, though, yeah.
We have a Muslim.
Praise bunyips. What's bunyips? Have you ever seen a ghost or spirit? No. The USA gets way worse weather than I do in Canada. Well, it depends on where you are, I guess, if you're in Vancouver. But yeah, and what are you talking about the USA? It's a little bit of a broad range of weather conditions. But good to hear, man. Where you at in Canada? Sasquatch and the Yeti diverged 12,000 years ago, obviously. They evolved from a common ancestor, the Sasquatch.
That is real. Is that guy for real?
No, she's teasing.
Okay, cool.
Kristen B. That's awesome, though. Obs. Obs. Bunyip is Aussie Bigfoot. I've never heard of that. Bunyip is the Australian Bigfoot.
I didn't hear that, but we'll fight to find out.
Well, down under, you say Bunyip. Who's a Bunyip? I've never heard of that. So I look up Bunyip here. Bunyip. Bunyip in Australian Aboriginal folklore, a legendary monster said to inhabit the reedy swamps and lagoons of the interior of Australia. The Bunyip purportedly made booming or roaring noises and was given to devouring human prey, especially women and children. I don't know. This art makes him look not a lot like Sasquatch or a Yeti, but pretty scary. Pretty scary in its own right. Y'all in Canada talk about cold, try the hot in the low desert of California. That's hot, my friend. You're from the Death Valley area? Hottest place on the planet, my friend. Yeah, Wendigo, right? Wendigo is the Native American version, right? Wendigo is more of a spirit. Mythological creature.
The Wendigo is a Native American belief, and I have way more respect for anything that is like that.
You have way more respect for that?
Yeah, I have way more. But you were saying with is that like pantheon of gods and things like that?
Yeah.
We have as a society and people who are Christians, they have been putting down the Native American beliefs so much. So if they want us to keep Wendigo alone, I will. So that's what I feel about it.
Wendigo is darkly beautiful. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how beautiful it is, but it's definitely dark. It looks like more like a deer, like a
I seen people mocking those images, like they mock the Wendigo, but they think that Mary was virgin, so or they believe on the talking donkey on the Bible, and they mock somebody else's. That's why they think. That's why people think that we are mocking Christians because they mock somebody else. They're projecting.
It's true. People are loving your voice. You've had a couple of commenters
Oh yeah.
saying your voice is awesome. It must be that powerful accent, my friend. You should, yeah, and he's at Sin Free Atheist. Thanks, and thanks, Boomer. I did notice you on YouTube. Boomer says he's traveled a good bit of Mexico and found most churches are built on top of past civilizations.
Completely true.
Is that right?
Completely true.
Why is that?
Because they wanted to suppress belief. And the best way to suppress belief is to get people to go worship on the same place they were doing that before. They did that with the Moors after the invasion of Spain. They done that they did that with the Vikings on different parts. They have done that they had done that way before they got to America.
Yeah.
So
it's a way of cultural assimilation.
They know.
Yeah.
They have by the time they came to America, they had the technique down to a science how to suppress beliefs.
Yeah, they did, and it's a cultural assimilation technique. They understand that if it's easier to get people to worship the new religion, if they're going to the exact same place where they used to worship the old religion, it doesn't interrupt their routine the way it used to, and is a very powerful imagery, I would think, of the new gods stomping right on the footprint of the old gods. See what our God can do. Yours doesn't even exist anymore, and now we've got a cathedral that you fucking Indians couldn't have even built, on the site of your former holy ground. So
5 more followers to 666.
What's that?
5 more followers to 666.
5 more people. Let's get it to 666 today. Come on, people. 5 more followers for at Sin Free Atheist, and you could be number 666. Good morning, Jer 2650. Is it fair for an atheist to start a religion to get in on the grift? Asking for a friend. Yeah, the Satanic Temple did it. Satanic Temple did it.
I'm a member of this.
Are you? Yeah, there you go, man. They did it in spades. Lucian Greaves, cynical son of a bitch, kind of a prickly bastard, did a great fucking thing. He did a great fucking thing. So yes, it's absolutely fair for an atheist to get in on religious grift. That's all part of why atheism is recognized as a religion politically, for those reasons. We know it's not a religion, but it falls into that category so that atheist organizations
fight fire with fire.
Fight fire with fire. We're on the level playing field with other churches and other religions.
That's why you put the 10 Commandments on public grounds. We are going to put a statue of Baphomet.
Baphomet or whoever, the devil himself.
You start teaching Bible on the school. We are going to get Satan for kids on over there.
They're going to bring Satan coloring books to your school to fight the creationist club, the Good News Club that they've started for the Christian kids.
But if there's no program like that already, like a Christian or any theist program, the Satanic Temple will not allow you to start a Satan for Kids club on your school. It has to be only in response to.
Right. Because the idea again is to have none of it.
We don't
want any of it.
Right. We don't want to indoctrinate anybody.
Right.
Not my kids, not yours.
Jur 2650 says, "What's that TikTok account again?" It's at Sin Free Atheist. Like he doesn't sin. He's got no sin because he's an atheist, and sin doesn't exist. He is the Sin Free Atheist on TikTok.
Like everybody else.
Yes, like all of atheists. Right. Thoughts on Shittenhouse? Mrs. Chubb said, "You got his picture." Mrs. Chubb has Rittenhouse's picture for her profile picture.
Does she want to be blocked?
Huh?
Does she want to be blocked or what?
I don't know, but my thoughts on Rittenhouse are that he's a fucking idiot.
The mom is more idiot.
The mom should be slapped around for raising a fucking hater, warmonger, bigot. For driving him to a different state, for enabling him to come to an active riot zone with a fucking assault rifle and effectively end the lives of two people who would still be alive if he hadn't fucking got off his mama's tit and come to a different state to shoot black people who were protesting the shooting of a black person at the hands of police. I think Kyle Rittenhouse is a living piece of shit, a white supremacist, a dirty Trumpy fuck, and I would slap him in his fucking ugly head if I saw him. Yeah. And yeah, he got off because it was self-defense. Once he went there, what he actually did looked like it was in self-defense, and maybe it was. That's beside the point, But if he hadn't to come here, no one would be dead, So, you all can fucking stand up for Kyle Rittenhouse if you want. He's an idiot and a piece of shit, and he should have stayed home on his fucking video games shooting virtual people instead of coming to an active riot zone and ending up shooting people that he had no beef with at all. Yeah, I'm not arguing with the verdict. It looks, and the prosecution did such a shitty job that he was going to get off. The judge made himself obviously made himself publicly known to be a Trump supporter when his phone went off with the worst song that's ever been written in pop history. God Bless the USA by Lee Comover Greenwood, literally the biggest piece of shit in pop music history. That song is so fucking terrible that every time I hear rednecks get in a group and sing it, I want to punch people. It's just fucking off. What a fucking stupid, terrible fucking song. Yeah, the whole thing was a shit show. Being told that the people were shot in the face with a fucking assault rifle aren't victims. I don't care whether it was self-defense or not. If you're dead from a gunshot wound from someone else, you're a victim. But no, we can't call them victims. You can call them rioters and assholes and disturbers of the peace, but we can't call them victims, even though they're dead at someone else's hand. So yeah, what a fuck. Anybody, I get it. Maybe legally he probably should have gotten off because it was self-defense, but why the fuck was he even here? He had no business being here. Stay the fuck in your own town.
Tell him thank you. I got my screenshot already.
You're right, Chubb. You're not wrong, Mrs. Chubb. But so what? So what? He still came here, and people were dead because he decided to come here. Period. No one else even died in those riots, man. I don't care that he got off, honestly. But what he did legally, it's hard to argue with the fact that it was self-defense. But he's still a fucking jerk in my book. A Trumpy, fucking white supremacist person who came here on purpose because he saw what was going on in Kenosha. It said, I don't like the fact that people are burning buildings as a response to someone getting shot, so I'm going to go try to shoot people in response to burning buildings. What is so fucking ass backwards that I can't even believe it. That's the statement that's being fucking told here. That's the story that's being told here. It's okay in America to respond to property damage by killing someone, but it's not okay to damage property in response to killing someone. It's so fucking backwards. It's stupid. So, how do I know he's a white supremacist? Because I have fucking eyes. I'm in Kenosha. Okay. I'm in Kenosha. I'm fucking blocks from the riots. I was here watching shit burn down. I was here watching people come from the country, white, Trumpy fucking shitbirds coming here from the country using mini bikes so they could get inside the police barriers so they could actively involve themselves in a fucking riot zone. Do you think they were here to defend the Black Lives Matter people? Or do you think they were here to shoot the people that they see as burning and looting without reason and taking care of fucking white businesses? No, I fucking know what was in that fucking little asshole's mind because I have fucking eyes and I see what goes on. He did not come here to stand up for the rights of anybody. He came here to fucking protect businesses that he had no vested interest in and hope that he got his chance to shoot some fucking black people. And he ended up shooting white people because the white people were stupid enough to be involved in a riot and stick a gun in his face. So yeah, great. He got off for that. He's still a living fucking piece of shit. Oh, bullying and harassment. And we have been taken off the air. Oh man!
So,
I mean, that has happened.
So the Trumper got offended.
They got offended, and
oh gosh. Yeah, but I was going to say that thank you for the one who got me to 666.
Did you get to it?
Oh yeah, I got the screenshot. This is the only thing I was looking for, the screenshot, and it's there.
Well, it takes care of that.
Yeah.
I haven't been kicked off my live in a while.
How long has it been since you get kicked out of a live?
It's been a month or two now. And the last time I got kicked off, it was for 7 minutes. And I was able to get back on in 7 minutes. Isn't that weird?
Did they put a time frame?
Yeah, they always give you a time. Like now it's going to be December 1st. But the last time it happened to me was literally 7 minutes later. And I was able to get back on the same night and go back online. So sorry about that, guys. If you're still watching on YouTube, yeah, we got kicked off of TikTok. I don't know if we got baited. Did I get baited into going off on Kyle Rittenhouse? And the fact that people stand up for this asshole kills me. People are so fucking involved in Kyle Rittenhouse's righteous indignation at being here that they're going to stand up for, my ex was like, I felt so bad for him crying when he was crying on the stand. Really? He brought a gun to a riot zone and shot people to death, and he's going to cry at his trial? Why did something like this happen to me? Why? What a fucking little asshole. Well, what are you going to do? You think it was that person? Oh, freaking idiot.
Yeah,
who else would it have been? You're like, oh, I asked him what he thought of Rittenhouse, and he told me, so I better report him.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. People argue with me all day, man. Anybody who argues for Rittenhouse's innocence is a fucking Trumpy fucking Black Lives Matter hater, right? It's like, what? It kills me, man. It's okay to fucking burn houses, or it's okay to shoot people if they're rioting.
You have the right color of your skin. That's stupid.
It's just so fucking stupid, man. You're like, oh, well, that Kyle Rittenhouse, he's acting in self-defense, right? Imagine if he fucking hadn't come here at all. I don't know. He's probably happy because he's gonna be rich now, right? He can be able to sell his rights to the HBO for the movie. He's gonna be able
the worst part, because he become innocent. He can legally make money out of that.
Yeah, he can sue the government for calling him, for Biden calling him a terrorist and calling him a white supremacist. He can fucking write his ticket now,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's lucky he didn't get his own face shot off. So sorry about that, guys. We almost made it. It's like 12:11. There's a few folks still on YouTube, but I think we'll probably wrap it up here, and maybe we'll make a video. What about that? It's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks since I made a video. That's the longest time I've ever gone, I think, without making a video. But yeah, let me get rid of it. Love you guys. Thanks for joining, and I'll be back on December 1st. It looked like. When is that? Today's the 28th, so like 3 days. So
Dennis is we don't like that. Joy is saying that she should have protected you. She should have banned that person before. She said, saying sorry.
Who?
She
should have banned him.
Yeah, no crazy cat lady. She's your
moderator. Yeah.
Moderator, and I told her that you got banned until the first. So I should have blocked him sooner. I think she blocked him, but not soon enough. Shit happens.
Shit happens. All right, well, we'll see you later. I'm going to shut this stream off on YouTube. We're not done. This is why I enjoy listening in. You have melted another snowflake. Keep on. Thanks, Boomer. I appreciate you, buddy, man. No, and I don't know. It's it's a double-edged sword, though, right? I end up doing that. I melt a snowflake, but I'm fucking kicked off of the thing now, and that means my shadow ban will be, the algorithm will bump up again on my shadow banning, so I have to fucking wait a while to get over that. But thank you, Boomer. We appreciate you always tuning in on YouTube, even though I don't pay as much attention to the YouTube. So take it easy. We'll see you Wednesday, if not before, and love all you guys, all right? Bye.